Hello, everybody. Hey, everybody. I just decided to jump on live. Oops. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Okay, can everyone hear me? Sorry, I've just been sitting here and we're live. Okay, so can you all hear me? All right, it says my microphone's working. So anyway, let's talk about this exciting news that charLIE is testifying tomorrow morning in the AM, and everyone in the courtroom was just ecstatic. This is the best news. I think I could see it on Ruth Markel's face. I could see it on Shelley's face. It was just overall relief that Georgia Kappelman and Sarah Dugan had just decided they rested their case. And then the jurors went on a break. And then I was outside talking to Mentor Lawyer, and I just said, hey, are they done with witnesses? I wanted to see Rob Adelson. I wanted to see a few more people, but Mentor Lawyer confirmed it. The state has made its case, and we are ready to roll. And just like, I'm ready, guys. Let's roll. charLIE stood up. They asked him if he wanted to testify, and he said yes. They said the judge actually advised him not to. He said, I would advise you not to, but he said, I'm going to do it anyway. And everyone in the courtroom looked at each other. In fact, I looked at Joel from Surviving the Survivor, and I told him afterwards, his face was just like, it was like after this whole long week of jury selection until now, it's like this wonderful feeling. So let me see what you guys are talking about here. Thank you all for being here. I know I had said I was going to be on at 7, but there's stuff going on, and I'm so glad I'm in the mood to do a live. I haven't done one in a year since the Arthur hearing. So let's see. No way charLIE is going to be able to get his lies straight as much as he talks. Yes, and in fact, it was so smart for Georgia to take some time. They were really put on the spot by Daniel Rashbaum to just, examine him and get his testimony right then and there. And I don't think they were prepared today. So what I would ask charLIE with this new evidence, I would definitely ask him, who has the money? Do you have the money in your safe, or does Donna? Because Katie told us some new information about who has the safe. So we heard that Donna washes the money because she has the safe. And if you check out, I'm putting out a new video about how exactly a person washes money. Does anyone know? I guess she didn't want fingerprints on it, but I'm actually putting like a YouTube video of this guy who works with machine appliances and junk, and he just goes step by step on how to wash money, actual laundering of your money. So another thing I would definitely ask charLIE specific to this case, and here's the thing, is charLIE really going to out his own mother and say, oh yeah, my mom, she has the safe, to corroborate Katie's new evidence? That would be idiotic for charLIE to do. So he's got to be careful too of the things that he says, to not indict his own parents. There's been a lot of evidence in the bump about his parents, especially new evidence today did you all hear that call that Donna made to the bump? They recorded this message, this new evidence of Donna just saying, I bet you in that message she said about 20 times, I didn't do it. And I was just walking with Judy and I said, Judy, I really want you to do like a script of Donna in this phone call to the bump. And then we kind of ended it like, I think I want to do that or something. We're going to kind of do a script of it, and maybe like a reenactment or something of Donna calling the actual bump guy, the undercover op, who actually we were lucky enough to meet him, but I just can't disclose his name anyway. But he was a great witness and star in this case. You all would absolutely love to meet this guy too. There's going to be a ton of specials about him. He's pretty much one of the stars. Chris Corbett and Patrick Sanford, Georgia Kappelman, Sarah Dugan, all of those guys, the FBI and the state attorney's office. Okay, let's see what else you guys got. Okay, his mouth will do more damage than good for him. Yes, Julie. You know, I bet you he's super relieved he has a night to sleep on this as well. I know Georgia probably is, because she's probably got a long list of things. This is probably going to take all morning long. She's got to kind of build the case. Like, we're going to hear about that money drop night. And I know, let me first preface, I want to apologize. I didn't see any money drop texts about a case. I think what had happened in the Arthur hearing last year, I saw so many things flash right before my eyes on charLIE's Arthur hearing to try to get out of jail. And I think I mistook cash for case, because I think a lot of these cash deposits, I was kind of validated with the 100K cash deposits. I did see a few texts about like 100K cash deposits. And I think that's where I got a little mixed up. So I do want to apologize for any misinformation. So let's see. Does anyone else have any questions that Georgia should ask charLIE? Please put them in the chat. So let's see. charLIE and Rashbaum looked relieved it was tomorrow. Oh, 100,000%. I think they all kind of giggled and smiled, and so did the jury. The jury looked so tired. They were looked hungry. I mean, during the last witness, they were totally dialed in. They were totally dialed in with all these wiretaps, but today was the most damning evidence of the wiretaps. So putting the headsets on, taking them off, they looked really tired. And I just feel like this was the best decision for both sides. And just as a little side note, Daniel Rashbaum, as he likes to turn around to the audience and to Georgia Kappelman and Sarah Dugan, like he has a little cookie in his briefcase that's like wrapped in a napkin, and he, like, as he's taking a bite, he offers it to Georgia or to us, like in the front row or something, and he did that with chocolate today. And I thought, I mean, this guy it's a really tough case he's working, but he's just pleasant. It's really hard to hate on him. So props to him for being pleasant to everybody who's there. I got to hand it to him for that. So let's see. Grace Taylor asked me if I live in Florida. Yes, I feel super lucky that I live in North Florida, and I only had a 2.5-hour drive, and I met a few people who are super fans, like Sonny Tanner was here, and frequent commenters on the case, and Fancy, Judy, Mentor, Surviving the Survivor, John Steinbeck, like everybody's here, and some of us are meeting for the first time, which is so awesome. Like I felt like yesterday, I took Judy to meet Fancy for the first time, and it was adorable. In fact, I felt like a mother introducing my daughter to her friends or something. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but then meeting Ruth for the first time, and I think I'm going to meet Shelly, and I think I can't wait to just kind of hope for the best. And that's been an exciting part here. All right. And also met Karen Cyphers again, and gosh, so many more people, some people from Dateline 2020, and they've been working so hard on this case. And I do really like how they kind of integrating themselves in the conversations we're having about it, and they're very friendly and nice. So Jennifer Ray says, I can't believe how fast this case was. I was expecting to be weeks. Exactly. In fact, I had marked my calendar for my work schedule to be next week because I didn't want to miss the verdict, because that's the moment you can hold up your phone and ask Georgia for her closing comments, and the Markel family and all those great things. And I didn't want to miss it, but being that they said it was 3 weeks, I don't know whether that was to just give ample amount of time, and just in case some curveball came everybody's way. But I think it'll be done by Friday. I think that's my guesstimate. The jury is supposed to be off next week. So unless they decide to call more witnesses on Thursday and Friday, we'll have to, or jury deliberation, of course. They honestly, my opinion about them, I feel like they just want to get this over, but that's a terrible way to make a verdict. If they need time, they need time. And I think that's how I want to look at it. If I miss the verdict, I miss the verdict. So let's see. Scott says, at long last, charLIE testifies tomorrow. They earnestly began planning Harvey's birthday present in the spring of 2014. And 9.5 years later, here we are. The jury should have tomorrow evening. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's this birthday present, you guys. I was just saying to somebody, I think in the chat, like, how sick is it that even if the birthday present was code, that is the sickest way to talk about somebody else's life. Like, to end someone else's life would be a birthday present for a father-in-law, a former father-in-law's birthday present, who's turning 70, by the way. That is so sick. And I did that video, birthday code, and I did not mean to make any light of these very serious topics. And I even talked to Ruth Markel about it. I just said, I'm just trying to bring attention to the case in a colorful way, kind of seeing it like a courtroom artist and giving you guys my little digestible bites. And I love art, and she totally understood, and I'm really glad, because she's definitely in on some of these themes and jokes, because it just makes it so much easier. But that birthday present, I think, is going to be a huge continuing theme if there are more trials. And people have a lot of explaining to do, especially charLIE tomorrow about the birthday text. So let's see here. I don't want to skip any of these. I think I have time to get through them all. Let's see. All right, let's see. I got really lost here. All right, I'm just going to jump around. I love that Sammy the bump had to call back because I had lost the number. Yeah. Sammy, oh gosh, that guy is such a star. He is like literally the star of this case. In fact, I was telling the guy from Dateline, I said, you have to get him on your show, because he basically, as we've seen, there's just been so many things that could have gotten messed up in this bump, and they never really suspected. They said, like, well, you know, maybe it's the police. But I told the guy from Dayline, I said, yeah, I think you can interview him, because there's been other documentaries where they interview the undercover people, the special agents. They deserve to tell their story. So Avila said, I couldn't believe how many times she was telling the undercover that she's stressed. She's so stressed. Oh my gosh, what a great thing to tell either a person who's trying to blackmail you or the police. Oh my gosh, I'm so stressed. she's trying to play like this, oh, poor me, pity party for Donna, poor me. Oh, she said, oh, I didn't do it. How many times do you think she said, but it wasn't me? I mean, this is going to make for some kind of 2020 episode. And I really like, I saw them just like furiously taking notes, and the rest of us were just clicking away on our like live chats. This was just too much today. So Jennifer Ray says, if she didn't dry the money and put it in Ziploc, it was probably moist and smelled moldy, didn't have actual mold. Yeah, it just probably smelled a little musty. But, you know, I also said in this video that I'm working on, Florida is very musty. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if Donna had put it in a place where it was just humid. I mean, Florida is so humid. It's almost impossible to keep things if you have like an outside shed or like something that's not like temperature controlled. It's just a basement or something. It's just impossible to keep the humidity out. And they've got so much money. I guess they just had to give it away to Katie and everybody else. All right, so let's see. Oh, okay, let's see. I'm trying to get some questions here. Let me look at some of the main things that I wanted to tell you all while I'm on. Okay, so did y'all see those bump flyers where how many new things we learned today about, we knew about the initial bump flyer with, you know, call this number, Donna was approached on the street. But then I talked to Mentor Lawyer today about it, and I said, let me get this straight. So how many are there? And even he is not exactly sure, because what I have in my notes is first was the bump flyer. Then it was the phone call to charLIE's office. And then there was a third flyer, which was that printed letter to Donna's house, which Mentors just posted a video on that. And then there was a fourth text to Donna, which I believe prompted her to call. And that's exactly what they wanted. And I think because she ended the phone call with like, she's like, I'll sleep on it. Like, she's not going to pay them the $5,000. Like, she should have gone to the police. She just keeps telling them, you go to the police. Shouldn't be asking me for money. If you know who killed Dan Markel, you go to the police. Like, why doesn't she go to the police? It's just insane. So I think they're going to be asking charLIE a lot of questions like, did you know, was your mother stressed? Did you know, like, why she didn't want to go to the police, et cetera, et cetera. Like, lots of questions going on. Okay, so Baby Doll says, my thought is one of those portable small washers, very small, seen them on Pinterest. Yeah, like one of those little like washing machines for your like little tiny apartment where you just kind of like put in some water and a little soap. I mean, you can also just do it in the sink, like just pour in some water and soap, but like that is so tedious for all that money. Like imagine how much time that probably took her to just wash hundreds of thousands of dollars, like $100,000. This was a project for her if she did it. I don't know why Katie was so adamant about it. Like, if this isn't true, she does not like Donna Adelson, and she has an axe to grind. Okay, so yeah, she can't wait to see the video because she's curious about washing money. Yeah, and also Judy was gonna do a video too where Judy was like gonna like dress up as Donna and get like soap bubbles, like I'm washing my money, you know, like, and we sorry, you have to laugh. Like, we're all so delirious, you guys. I think everyone was taken aback by that comment. It's just actually insane. And then hey Dawn, I can't wait to see you be the voice on Mentor's channel tomorrow. You have a big job on your hands. I can't wait to see it. In fact, you're the perfect person to do it, because Mentor's like running in from the media center to the courtroom, and sometimes he gets locked out. So if you don't see us in there, we're probably locked out or in the media room with with Ladybug, and I got to meet her today, and I told her she's doing such a good job. And when she played Shrimp on Mentor's channel, it was so hilarious, and I had to thank her for that. And then let's see, in the washing machine, but mold takes time. So you guys are thinking that she used a washing machine. Yeah, probably. So TXTC Jewelry says Georgia will grill Charlie just like Katie, and I cannot wait till tomorrow. Yeah, it's pretty much kind of a cut and paste job, like going from Wendy's divorce, pre-Wendy's divorce. I don't know, she could get into all kinds of psychology, childhood, family dynamics, then school, his character evidence, his friendships, like talking about things that we know but the jury doesn't, and him trying to, talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick's evidence about him being kind of like a hothead and suing people. I think Georgia could jump all over him with character evidence, his lawsuits, his paternity. She could go and say about his baby, does he pay child support? His relationship with June, how did he treat June? How did he treat Katie? And then also, like, if he's saying Katie blackmailed him, we have those lovey-dovey texts between them. That's another video I want to share. The text where Charlie says, like, the year, I think, after the bump, he says, I love you, to a person who is supposedly blackmailing him. These things don't add up. So she can pull up those text messages and just say, like, what did you mean? How was this some kind of code? Or how, if you are being treated, if you are being coerced, you're under duress, why were you giving her the money and saying one thing when it was another? Anyway, so let's see. Julia says, didn't think the judge's advice one way or another. Well, let me see. I don't understand the question. I'll have to look back at the other comments. Okay, so Barbara says, it started with Charlie's arrogance and it will end with Charlie's arrogance. Yeah, the whole trial, you guys, he knows that camera is on him. Like, if you're in that courtroom, anyone sitting in the first 5, any rows, like, you know the camera could be on you at any point in time. And, like, he sometimes, I caught him, like, staring into the camera because he knew he had to look a certain way to the jury. I do give him credit. He was pretty much, like, some of the time if he was trying to look confident or, I don't know, not crazy or not making crazy faces, I think they kind of, like, coached him on that. And I could see a couple of jurors who kind of focused in on his face. So he knew that they were looking at him. And I think that those particular jurors might have been looking for something to kind of convince them. And he was definitely trying to give that to them. So, okay, 5 car 5. How is Charlie going to prove extortion? I know this is going to be a total spectacle. This is going to be like, just, his hand is in the cookie jar, and it's like, I think that his lawyer did a really good, like, I don't want to say really good. I'll give him like a B- for having a good attitude and being courteous and warm to the judge, to the jury, to the other lawyers, to Charlie. And in fact, I think sometimes just like cheering Charlie up when this is probably obviously the worst thing that's ever happened to him that he's ever done anyone's life. He's a narcissist. He made terrible decisions his whole life. But I think that Charlie will think he's a really, really good liar. And I think what they're going to have to do is catch him in the lies and set him up, just like they did to Katie. And I was talking to Mentor that I think that they did catch Katie in a lie, or I definitely caught Katie in a huge lie where she said she had told Sigfredo. Sigfredo knew about Wendy's marriage problems, but then in another clip, which I'm looking for, and I need your help, if you can find the timestamp of where Katie says that Sigfredo had no clue who he was going up to kill. Like, no clue whatsoever. I just don't buy that. Like, he knew about Wendy's marriage problems, but yet had no clue who he was going to kill or why. Like, he knew that Wendy was Charlie's sister who had a custody battle, but yet he was going to kill some. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So Mentor asked me to send him the timestamps, but I don't think that'll be even relevant. But that's a really good example of very, very specific details. They're really good at this. I can't wait to see what they do. And Sharon says, I agree. He will blow it up completely. Yeah, I think that means Charlie's just going to eat it on the stand. All right. So True Lifestyles, is Judy purse shopping? I'm worried. Oh my God. My favorite comment this morning was somebody had said something like if one of the jurors shows up with like a new Louis Vuitton bag, like, alert us, please. I think it was Cliff. Oh, Cliff, it was you. Yeah. Totally. Judy's just, getting a little friendly with Charlie, and she's got a new Louis bag. I don't know how that would even happen. Sorry, Judy. Bad joke. Okay. So Charlie is so cooked. What does he have to lose, actually? Exactly. This is just totally grasping at straws, hoping that he could probably look sad. I think I did like a video sympathy for Charlie. I mean, I don't even remember what I put in it at the time, but like his back surgery, I'm sure he could use like his disability, like, oh, he's such a relatable old man. Charlie doesn't even look that old yet. He's got all of his hair. He just looks crazy. Like, he's got like this thick hair. Someone asked if he had a bald spot. There was no bald, just total big head of hair. He can't claim that he's like this weak man who's just been like, told what to do by Katherine. That's not gonna fly. That's so dumb. Anyway, so I didn't hear the judge advise no testify. Okay, so yeah, at the end of the day, Charlie stood up, and the state had rested its case and decided they're done. They did a slam dunk, swoosh, nothing but net, touchdown, spiked the football after those wiretaps. And in fact, I saw Sarah Dugan just sit back in her chair, and I knew that feeling. She knew once all those wiretaps were out, she just was loving life, and she could read the jury, and that to me was a really good sign. I hope that they just sleep well, but it really was like a victory lap after all those wiretaps were over. So I didn't think we would take the stand. Yeah, maybe Charlie. Yeah, nobody, I think, thought that. I think this is definitely what I came here for. And, like I said, everybody's face just lit up. I looked back at Mentor Lawyer. He was behind me. I just said, this is good. So at long last, Charlie testifies tomorrow. They earnestly began planning Harvey's birthday present. And okay, yeah. So I guess I'm back to some comments that I read. All right. Let me scroll. Here we go. Yeah, so Roxanne says, Charlie testifying epic. And if there is a next trial, I'm coming over from Spain. Yes, we'll see Donna. Like, it's worth the trip. Although, there's certain times where they, I think, try to limit people in the courtroom by locking the door. They're very strict about the call times, like 8:45 on the dot. Can't move. There was certain incidents where phones went off and got to play by the book. And let's see, I take it headphones are allowed. Yeah, in fact, the first day I had headphones, and I just had to be really careful. In fact, Mentor told me kind of a horror story where he had his sound kind of muted. He thought it was muted for his recording, and then he unplugged something and the sound just blared off. So that's what I'm afraid of with headphones. You just have to be careful. Usually people who wear them have the volume really, really low. It's kind of scary though. I don't want to get kicked out. I spent too much money. I don't use my headphones anymore. You've been here so long. Actually, no. I just got here yesterday, Tuesday morning, drove up, and it feels like it because like everyone else has been here, and I was kind of like, oh my God, they got to see Wendy, and I was feeling a little FOMO, but I feel like, I didn't get to see Katie. Oh, well, I wanted to be here for the verdict and seeing charLIE testify. That'll be definitely hopefully a good day tomorrow and the day after. Maybe the case may go on for days with charLIE on the stand. Yeah. Honestly, I thought the same thing with Katie, and everyone was making such a big deal of this proffer. And, I talked to Fancy and I said, she said, she's really sad that she didn't give up Wendy or Donna. And I said, yeah, me too. I was really sad. But like, she did give up Donna a little bit with the money washing. So watch for them to kind of jump all over that. And I think they know stuff that we do not know. So let's stay tuned for that. All right, Debbie said, I canceled because I figured no one would be sitting alone. Oh, I'm so sorry. You know what? Yeah, it's overwhelming at first, but I think that once you get here and if you're a frequent commenter, you are part of the group and you will have a home here. Absolutely. It was not a pile on in the courtroom, although tomorrow they said it might be very crowded. So that's what people are saying with charLIE's. All right, so KCL says, preparing my popcorn and socks to wade through, or boots to wade through the bull blank, and when charLIE takes the stand tomorrow. Yes! I cannot wait to read the comments. I will be looking at my laptop with the screen at his face, the comments, and listening, and it's just a little bit of a like a sensory overload. Although I was saying to everyone, like, leading up, this case has had a lot of just a sad, somber feel as they've moved through the evidence. Very, very somber. And this, I think, was the time when charLIE was going to testify. Was like everyone just perked up, like it went from like a funeral to a wedding. It's kind of atmosphere. That's the only way I can describe it. So, can you imagine listening to all of charLIE and Donna's phone calls? Yeah, I told everyone today, I was like, I have such a headache. I've got to go just freshen up and just take some aspirin and come back, because it just gave me such a headache. I know the jurors were obviously watching it, I think, for the first time. So that was exciting to kind of see their faces. These were the looks they kind of gave. They're like, that one, I saw a lot of eyebrows, like that kind of stuff. I saw like just a bullshit detector face, just kind of real, and like I feel like, because there are certain moments, when you hear the wiretaps for the first time and you're like, this person is like a narcissist, and they did play a lot of character evidence, which, a lot of us were wondering if they would, but I mean, he was so crazy. Like, he was talking to Katherine, something like was very like a racial slur, and telling her to crush up like medicine and in applesauce and put it in her kids food to like make them relax. It was terrible. That was one moment where they were like, hold on a sec, this guy is not a nice guy. That's it. Okay. So, yes, hopefully we'll be soon. I guess you're talking about Donna's arrest. Yeah, we're on Donna arrest watch. And Don says, you're one of the OGs. And you know what? I thank you. Because you know what? When I was in the chat, in Mentor Lawyers chat, it definitely feels like home, because I go to the other pages and it's just like a pile on. I mean, it's just so hard to have a conversation with one person. But when I come to Mentors chat, it's like I see everybody, the OGs, and we've been following this for 4 years. I think most of us, and we've been waiting for this day for so long. And I hope Mentor Lawyer knows that. And he really started this and put it on the map with getting our eyes open to taking a deeper dive into this case. So thank you, Don, and I hope you do great tomorrow. So Helen Stewart says, everybody's there but us. Listen, I felt that way last week. I was just like, I am missing everybody. I had to make a decision. I can't take that much time off, and I think neither can anyone else. But after talking and brainstorming, and Judy was smart. She picked the middle week. That's what I would suggest. Like, if you're going to go to a trial, any trial, pick the middle of it so you get the meatiest witnesses, and then you might see the verdict. But don't hesitate. If you're into it, if you're following a trial, just go. There's tons of people like you. It's definitely a thing to do. Okay, so I so wanted to go, but it will be at the next one. Yeah, and I would definitely suggest bringing your laptop in and talk to people, and maybe having like one person at your hotel. That's definitely good. That's all you need, is just one point of contact, and you're good to go, just so you're safe, just in case. All right. So he chose to take the case. No sympathy from me. Yeah, Rashbaum, he kind of knows it. He's got this grin on his face, like, whoosh, cuss words probably swimming around in his head. But it's like, it's so hilarious because this is definitely a learning experience for him. This might be one of his first like murder trials, because he's usually white collar crime. So definitely a learning experience. So let's see. Susan, you look great in black. Oh, thank you. You know what? I just decided to go with black because it's just so much easier to pack and a little more sleek. And I felt just like I didn't have to think about what I'm wearing. I just planned it like a month in advance. And although the weather changed, today it's like 40 degrees. So I had to kind of repack some heavy boots and jackets. But I think I just would suggest neutrals, white, black. No, like, I don't think bright colors. I mean, wear whatever you want, but that's what this blog had suggested. All right, so no way, boo, he's done. All right. And Georgia needed to end early on Wednesday. Oh, good. Okay, maybe something for her kids or something. I don't know. I was kind of relieved we ended a little early today, because it seemed like the other day we went till like 6 p.m. But it was a pleasant surprise, I think, for the jurors. And everyone seemed really happy to get out a little bit earlier today. Will we see him change his mind or watch his head and blow off his head? Yeah. Ooh, so yeah, he's got like 10 hours to change his mind. Ooh, I don't see that happening. Nope. He's been sitting in that jail cell just waiting to tell us his version of the truth, his scheming or whatever. I mean, imagine, we think about this case, imagine how charLIE is thinking about what he can say to kind of twist every piece of evidence. And I think Daniel Rashbaum was starting to do that, and I think a few of us got a little bit worried. But I think the state kind of did a good job the last 2 days, like catering the evidence to how wicked and evil charLIE is and how aggressive he has been in talking to Katie and stuff like that. His character evidence has kind of come in through the wiretaps. And in fact, I was remembering this Surviving the Survivor roundtable with Judy and Mentor Lawyer and this guy named John Arla, where they were predicting what charLIE's defense would be. John Arla said, rough him up. Judy said, well, his defense could say that Sigfredo and Lewis just went and did this on their own, and it's just like grasping at straws. And then Mentor said, yeah, they could say blackmail, but like all the wiretaps will disprove that. And I think Mentor was right. And I think there was a minute where Mentor was like a little bit worried because Rashbaum was kind of doing a good job of picking out the puzzle pieces that kind of show certain things that charLIE said, like, oh, the next call is going to be the FBI or whatever. But I think that they'll disprove all the evidence. All right, let's see. All right, I commented on your other video that Rashbaum got the staple remover. Yes, Mike, I did see that. That was actually hilarious, and I did see it, and that's a really good comment. He got all the staples removed and took care of the evidence for them. All right. So let me get a sip of my coffee here. All right. So he looked like he was ready to throw up once they said they were going home. He looked so relieved. Well, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like when the teacher asked, like, you know, you're presenting projects and you didn't do your project, and then like they're like, okay, charLIE, and then they're like, oh no, so and so can go first, and then you don't have to present like your project. You get to go home, and then you get to like actually do your project the night before. That's kind of the vibe. I mean, that's exactly how it felt. charLIE didn't, like, he thought he did his homework, but he gets another night to prepare. So it was just a bonus. Okay. I have a bad feeling about this. Will he walk? Maybe he'll do a jailbreak, like Ted Bundy style. Maybe he'll jump out of the 3rd floor of the Leon County Jail. Can you imagine? Like, oh my God, that would be headlines. Like, people who don't know about this case would definitely know about it. Might be charLIE's last day of the beginning of being presumed innocent. Innocent by, I guess, his mom might be the only person who in her mind, like, they actually think that this was like a justified murder, which is the sickest thing ever. Like, they have no comprehension of like what they did was actually wrong. Like, I think until the day they die, they're gonna believe that. So, Cliff, don't start. I named the parts of Long Island when I was in my office. All right. Are you guys fighting with each other? Listen. Let's keep it calm. All right. So, I love that Sammy and the bump had to call back. All right. I think I'm kind of catching up with some of these comments, and I'm going to scroll. Let me see if I forgot to mention anything. I think I'm going to wrap up soon because there are some like dinners, and I actually need to wash my hair. Like, that is my main goal. I'm seriously the most down-to-earth person, you guys. Like, I'm going back to my job where I work with people who have dementia, and I teach kids tennis on Thursdays, and this was just like kind of a nice break from my normal everyday life. But I mean, just, I was telling people it's just like a little bit more exciting, but not that much more exciting. I really do enjoy going back to normal. So I'm going to be working on the next videos, like the Katie and charLIE love texts, and probably more content about charLIE testifying. Let's see. Jennifer says, let's see. Actually, okay. Daryl says, how good is Judge Everett? The guy is warm, funny, intelligent, likable, and very thorough. He is an asset to the prosecution. Yeah, he is definitely like a warm and fuzzy guy. He's just very good vibes. He knows how to squash drama. He knows how to settle down a courtroom. And I honestly think that they were very, very proactive about keeping this courtroom quiet and not having us nodding or laughing or screaming or acting ruckus. And I think he did a really good job of controlling the court, and he gets an A+. Wendy is hoping her next book will be How to Get Away with Murder. Sorry, Wendy, but you're going to be in an episode of Orange is the New Black. Yeah, and you know what? I was saying, I think I was joking with Judy that those books in the back of her minivan that they had in the police interrogation were like, she needs to just take those to Goodwill for sure. Her 15 minutes is up unless she testifies again against her mother. Can you imagine? I mean, it's just going to be the same Groundhog's Day over and over again, just trying to like get any kind of new evidence out of her. It's just really impossible. So charLIE's lawyer does exude a warm and charm, but he's got a psychopath for a client. Yeah, he's definitely like the definition of like multiple kind of personality problems going on, personality disorders. So, and psychopath is probably one of them of the Adelson clan. I think that he was the mastermind, and that's what Katie said, that he was the mastermind of this. Charles' body language is horrific. Yeah, he was, this is a term that my mother used. He's turtling, like he's kind of going in his turtle shell. And then she also said pretzeling, like he's just kind of withering away, like his confidence. I mean, we all kind of do that in the courtroom. Gosh, I mean, I'm sure I would not want the camera to zoom in on me and have to be on for 10 hours. So like, that's really hard to do. But that's what I was saying to my mom, but I liked her terminology. I still think Wendy walks. That's a hot button issue. Let's see if time will tell. And she's been a state's witness for like the past 4 years. It's just been crazy. Let's see, Jennifer Ray. Katie knows so much more than she testified to. You could tell she was holding back because of appeals. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. She definitely contradicted herself about appeals and definitely was kind of trying to hide. I forget which part of it she was trying to hide, but there was definitely some specific details like that Sigfredo didn't know who he was going to kill, or she was just being so vague, unnecessarily vague. That's the one thing that I picked up on. Okay, charLIE's going to say he had to play along with the extortionist to protect his family. Yeah, it's so much of a mind puzzle, you know, putting these pieces together. I have no clue how he's going to explain this away. There's certain things that fit. Like I'll give it to Rashbaum. Like there are certain aspects of this blackmail plot, and I've been kind of talking about it for the past 2 years, that blackmail would be his only go-to defense, the joke, and how many times he said the joke, and how they got, you know, Katie gave them the address. See, that's what I think Katie's trying to hide. That piece that Katie could have printed out that piece of paper and given them the address. And then on the night, can't wait to hear what he says on the night of the money drop, that like Katie put a gun to his head and something like that. I don't want to give them any ideas, so I'm not going to speculate. All right, so Jennifer Ray, I don't believe it was because of the appeals, because she has immunity for that. I think there are other reasons. Let's see. All right, I'll do a few more. All right. I wonder if Sarah will do the cross. Sarah with her like aggressive kind of mean girl stance and doubling down. I love it when she just goes after the jugular. I hope so. I really do. I hope they get some sleep tonight, because they probably this probably came a little sooner than they thought. Wendy's lawyer scored no points, in my opinion. Yeah, I guess they're just draining the Adelson bank accounts. I was saying to the Dateline producer in that video, like Adelson bank accounts, they went from like $8 million in like 2013 to like 2016 when the 2020 and Dateline specials aired, it went to like 6 million, and then it just kept going down as their bad publicity happened, and it's just like wah wah. Yeah, it's karma. I think Katie did extort charLIE after the murder. She kept, yes, and listen, that definitely appears so. I think you're right, Barbara. Ding, ding, ding. You get this special award today, like best comment. Katie's gifts look like an extortion, but to me, what the state needs to do, this Katie, what it appears to me like Katie looks like a sex worker who's getting gifts from charLIE and they're not in a relationship. To me, this looks like he's hired her to have a transactional relationship and benefits his family by doing this murder for hire. She did work in the club, so that's what it looks like from my perspective. I think it would be smart for the state to bring up Katie's kind of history of like possible, I don't know if you could like say that about somebody, but it would be another angle. All right, so Katie's comment on Sigfredo, I think she meant that he didn't know Dan other than name and address. Yeah, well, I posted it in the video today. She said that'd be impossible. She said he had no clue who he was. Like she said, literally, she knew of Wendy's husband who had like Wendy's marital problems, but like had no concept of who Dan was living in Tallahassee. So that gray area, like I wish we could call Katie back and say, did you tell Sigfredo where Wendy's ex-husband lived? What did you tell specifically to Sigfredo? I think that's super important. So let's get Katie back on the stand. Sigfredo didn't care who it was. Well, Lewis seemed to care. Lewis said the lady wants her kids back. I mean, he said, I'm not going to kill anyone in front of kids. There seemed to be some passion behind, let's get those kids back. I think they knew who he was, even though it was for charLIE. You know, some people have these like weird love triangles. I think they all knew about each other. I think it was just weird, and I think they're afraid to admit it. Okay, so let's see. I'm about to take a break. Okay, is STS on right now? I don't know. No one else was live, so I kind of just decided to jump on. I'll just read a few more long ones. If Wendy goes on trial, I'm seriously considering attending. I live in Sydney. Yes, Daryl. I spent a little bit of money. I would spend what you're comfortable with and do it. It's kind of like, I want to go to the Super Bowl one day. I think I'll probably shell out a little bit for it. You'll be glad. You'll be glad. All right. So I can't watch June either. So obviously, oh gosh, that whole stuff with June, you know, poor Judy, everyone's getting trolled. Fancy's getting trolled by Bree Price and everything. And it's just it's a very high profile case. And I think that these girlfriends are going to have to deal with the publicity. I mean, once the 2020 comes out in the Dateline, I think they just have to know that it's part of it and hopefully know that there's no evil, mean-spirited stuff going on. It's just, we want the truth. But anyway, guys, I gotta go get ready for the trial tomorrow for charLIE's testimony. And thank you for joining me with this live today. It's been literally a year since charLIE's Arthur hearing that I jumped on. And Thank you so much for watching and liking and subscribing. And I'm trying to urge Judy to do a live, but she's getting pulled in so many different directions. And so is Fancy. And hopefully we'll hear their thoughts soon. And Mentor's doing a live tonight. So maybe he'll speculate some more. But stay tuned. More videos. I'm working on the money video and probably another breakout video with charLIE's testimony tomorrow, maybe another live. All right, everyone, take care. See you later. Bye. Watch Mentors live tonight, 10:30.